Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a Q&A. I asked you guys over on my Instagram, it was under this photo right here. I asked you to send me any questions that you had and I'm going to try to answer as many of them as I can in this video. I'm going to try to answer questions that I haven't answered before, just to keep this nice and interesting for you guys. Alright, so the first question is, did you notice a difference in skin health between your 20s transitioning into your 30s? I'm newly in my 30s, so I'm 30 years old right now and I'm going to be 31 in July. So I'm very early into my 30s and so far I have not noticed anything too crazy that's different. I think that has a lot to do with diet and lifestyle. I love living a healthy lifestyle. It just makes me feel so good. And one of the benefits of a healthy lifestyle is that it positively affects your skin as well. So I think age, of course, we will all age, we will all get wrinkles, and you know, gravity will eventually take its force. But I think there's a lot of things that you can do just in your lifestyle, just by focusing on what you eat, on what you drink, and on your, you know, day-to-day lifestyle habits and things like that. But I will report back in my mid-30s. Okay, next question is, do you have many friends? What are the things that truly changed your life? And what are the most difficult things in your life? So I am super lucky to have a few really good friends that I am super close to. I don't have a ton of friends. I like to be very selective with the people that I do spend time with. We are very close and I've always been like that since I was a little girl. I really like to invest my time and build really strong relationships and friendships with people that I love and that I know love me. What are the things that truly changed your life? Wow. Starting my YouTube channel, that changed my life dramatically. That was back in 2011. Such a good decision that I made that day, just filming on my laptop. Another moment that changed my life was when I decided to change my diet. That was back in 2014. That was major. And then of course meeting Mo as well. That was another life-changing moment. Okay, what were the most difficult things in your life? Gosh, that is a big question. If I think back to like when I was little, my parents getting divorced, that was a very difficult thing for me. I was around 12 or 13 years old. Just a lot of memories of that like period in my life that was not easy, but they are super happy right now, so everything worked out. But of course, as a child going through that, it's traumatic, it's confusing, it shakes your ground, like your stability. Other difficult things, I think just being hurt by people, you know, when you think that people would treat you the way that they would want to be treated or that you would treat them, and then, you know, some people are just different. I don't know. I think being hurt by people and having your trust broken, that hurts a lot. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have dealt with that. You want to treat people the way that you think is a good way to treat people, that you would do because you love that person or you respect that person and you want to be a good human. And then to have people betray you or break your trust in a way or just not be good people, that really hurts. All right, let's change the tone and move on to another question. What part-time job did you have as a student and what did you study? My first job ever was when I was still in high school. I was 15 years old. I had just turned 16, or I was about to turn 16. The legal age to work in Switzerland is 16, so I was kind of like a little bit illegal in the beginning, but I was working at a really small little jewelry and accessories boutique. I was so freaking happy and proud that I could work and that I could earn my own money. It was owned by this really old French couple and they had a daughter that would sometimes work there, but other than that it was just us. It was a tiny little store. The jewelry was like costume kind of jewelry, so it wasn't like this kind of stuff. It was more like chunky funky beads and different eccentric things. They would go to these antique markets and buy old jewelry, and then I would have to like sort through the different stones and gems, and then they would make jewelry out of that. I also had to take care of the store, so I had to like clean the store, clean the floors and windows and like displays. I was also working at the cash register and, you know, helping clients, and even coming up with some ideas for jewelry and things like that. So that was really fun. I also worked in a clothing store. I worked at Karen Millen, and the owner of that boutique also had another shop across the street that I would sometimes work at. So those were like my summer jobs. But then when I moved to New York and I was studying at my university, I wasn't allowed to work because of my visa. So I could only be a student. Like I couldn't legally work, but I figured out a way to make some money. I started babysitting for a lovely family who lived in the same building that I lived in, and actually saw that they had a little baby. I think she was 6 months at the time, and I wrote a letter to them and I put it in like under their apartment door, and I introduced myself. I said that my mom recently had triplets and that I helped a lot with them when they were babies, and that I kind of knew how to take care of a child, and I would love to work for them, and that of course I lived in the building, so it was very convenient. They could just call me up and I could come and help them. They called me. I went in for like a little interview to meet the baby, and they were so lovely, and I ended up working for them for a few years when I lived in New York. Moving on to a new question. What are your insecurities? Not only physical. I think she means to say physical. Okay, so we're not talking about physical insecurities. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little shy. I don't know if that's an insecurity. That's just maybe more of like a trait. But sometimes it annoys me because people might sometimes think that I'm not into them, or that I'm like distant, but that's absolutely not the case. I'm just not the one to want to grab attention and put it on me. I don't like that. So when people say that, it makes me feel a bit insecure, because I absolutely never want to make anyone feel like I'm not interested, but it might look that way for someone who might be a bit more extroverted or loud compared to me. Next question is, what do you think about alcohol? Do you drink or not? I just want you to say how beautiful and amazing you are. Thank you so much. This was from Nina. I've never been super into alcohol since I was little. I mean, not little, but you know, like a teenager. I would be fine never having a drink again. It's not something that I would ever miss. It's more just if we're in a social situation, or if we're, you know, we're cheering on something, feeling a little buzzed sometimes is fine, but it's not, it comes with a price. You know, you're always going to feel bad afterwards. Alcohol is essentially a toxin for the body, and the reason that you feel buzzed or that you get drunk or even pass out is because it kills your brain cells and it poisons your liver. It intoxicates your liver. I don't know if I would agree so much with like how it's used, you know, how it's used as kind of like, they say a liquid confidence, and how you automatically, if you go to a social place or a party or a bar, it's almost like it's the norm to drink it so that you feel more comfortable, so that you feel more confident, or that people will accept you more, or you'll be on the same like vibe as them. Like, I don't agree with that. I don't want to drink for those reasons. I think if you're doing something just to please someone else and to get yourself drunk so that you can enjoy being there more, I don't think that's the best scenario, you know, for your body, for your health, or even forget about your body and your health, just your mindset, like your own confidence. I think we should lead with who we are, and we should try to, like, if we do feel tense at a social situation or something, we should just tune into ourselves and tell ourselves to relax and breathe and everything's fine, instead of having to like poison ourselves with too much alcohol, you know? So those are my thoughts on alcohol. Could you do more skincare videos? Yes, I definitely can. Let me know if you have any special requests or topics or things that you would want me to mention in skincare videos. I do already have a few on my channel, so I just want to make sure that I'm not just like giving you guys the same information, you know? Let me know if there's anything specific below in the comments. How do you keep your hair healthy, especially after dyeing it? Any tips for making hair more thick? I would say hair definitely comes down to diet, lifestyle, and of course genetics. Genetics you can't really alter, but diet and lifestyle you have complete control over. So use that to your advantage. Make sure that you're eating healthy food. Hair growth starts from within and it grows out. So your cells need those good nutrients to actually make healthy hair. So really focusing on the inside is going to do a lot of benefit for the outside. And then of course, for outside, you want to use good products. Try to use more natural and organic products whenever you can, because those have less chemicals that can interfere with your own body, your own endocrine system, your hormone health. I do have a few other tips in a recent video that I filmed where I talked all about my hair and the products that I use. I will have that linked below if you guys want to check that out. Okay, the next question is, why did you choose Ibiza to have your wedding at? So we chose Ibiza because that is where we met. And so it has a very special place in our hearts, and it just feels nice, you know, kind of like completing the circle. The next question is, with the earth in mind, what is your opinion on sustainable fashion? Also, do you eat mostly plant-based because of your own health or also because of the environmental impact? My opinion on sustainable fashion is I think it's amazing. I would love to learn more about it and educate myself more on this. And yes, I originally found the plant-based lifestyle because of my health. That was my main driving force at the time. But since learning about it and seeing the positive effects of how eating this way, how it affects the environment and lowers pollution, not just by a little bit, but drastically, check out the documentary Cowspiracy. It's really great and it talks all about this. I know a lot of people just go plant-based purely because of environmental reasons. So it has a huge impact. You can do so much for the environment just by choosing what you eat and what you put your money towards. So when it comes to fashion and other sustainable things, I know that I always have room to improve and that I can do better in different areas. But I know already just by choosing to eat this way, that is helping a lot. Going back to sustainable fashion, I think it's really great that companies are being innovative and pushing the boundaries and asking questions and just doing things differently to leave a smaller footprint on the planet when it comes to their production and the materials they use and things like that. With that said though, a way to minimize your fashion footprint is to just not shop as much and to just not buy so many things. And this is something that I'm very proud of myself for. The last few months I have definitely cut down on the amount of clothes I've bought. I know that you guys love to see hauls and things like that, and I want to give that to you guys. I want to show you cool outfits and pieces and things that I genuinely love and that I would genuinely wear, but I'm trying not to over consume and over purchase. But when I do have a good few pieces to show you guys, I always do. I will always sit down and talk about them or show them to you guys in vlogs, but I'm trying not to over consume and overdo, because just removing yourself from that a little bit also helps a lot. But definitely let me know below in the comments what some of your favorite sustainable fashion brands are, and I can check those out. Next question, if you get pregnant, will you start eating meat or different types of unhealthy food just because of cravings? So this is super difficult to predict. I don't have a child. I don't know what it's like to be pregnant or have cravings or feel what that feels like. So I cannot answer that question. I think it's very unlikely that I will eat meat or super unhealthy things that I just generally don't eat now, but you never know. I don't know. I predict right now that I won't be craving those types of things, but you never know. I will keep you guys posted though when that time comes, and I can tell you all about how I feel and food and all those things. The next question is, when did you find peace with being totally yourself? I think you find a lot of peace with yourself when you like yourself as a person, when you do and behave and act in accordance to what you value and what your principles are and what you decide that you want to do. So living in accordance with your values, even when nobody's watching, I mean, especially when nobody's watching. Will you take that piece of trash and put it in the trash can? Will you take care of your body and do your workout routine and cook yourself healthy food, or whatever it is, you know, things that are important to you, and you keep those promises to yourself? You build so much self-confidence that way, and just living life on your own terms and being there for yourself, being able to be with your emotions in all different states. So as humans, we experience a whole range of different emotions, from of course happiness to joy, excitement, but also to sadness and maybe anger, maybe resentment, maybe fear. Being comfortable with yourself and having a bit of a space and a bit of a buffer between you and your emotion and your impulses. Having that space to analyze, to buffer a little bit, it brings about a sense of empathy and compassion for yourself, because you can also understand that a lot of your behavior is subconscious. It's a lot of what you developed in your childhood or what you've seen socially. Just having that understanding, that compassion for yourself, being able to be with yourself, knowing how to comfort yourself, and also knowing when to give yourself credit for doing what it is that you want to do. That is the most important thing, because when you do what you want to do, you are acting in accordance with your soul, with your higher self, and that is why you're here. Like, that is why you have come to earth, is to grow. It is to listen to your inner heart, into your inner voice, and follow that voice. And when you are on that path, when you don't compromise, when you push past your limiting beliefs about yourself, your insecurities, things like that, you always grow, and you always gain a little bit more confidence and a little bit more confidence. And this also comes with time, with age, with experience. Again, just being a good person. I mentioned earlier how one of the most hurtful things is when people hurt you or disappoint you or break your trust in some type of way, but I don't want it to ruin me as a person. I don't want to behave that way to anyone else. It's so important to be a good person, not just for the other people in your life, because you want to treat them with respect and with love, like how you should, how we all should, but it's also for yourself. I think that gives you a lot of peace when you come from a place of love, of respect for other people, and of compassion for other people. It's all like very circular, like it comes back to you. I hope that answered your question. She does say being totally yourself. I think the totally myself, that comes from day to day. I feel like I'm still learning and growing every single day, and I cannot wait till I'm like 50 and I've experienced so much more of life, or even 60. Like, imagine how confident and how at peace you must be with yourself when you get to that age. Like, that sounds incredible. So every day you get a little bit better. Do you and Mo want kids? If so, how many? Yes, we definitely want kids, and hopefully pretty soon, like maybe within a year or 2 years, something like that. I think we'll have like 2 or 3 kids. What facials do you recommend for acne scarring? What has worked for you? So I've talked about this a few times, but something that I've always mentioned and always believed in are hydrofacials. They are so incredible for your skin, and especially for scarring. Microdermabrasion, like microneedling on your skin, professional treatments can do wonders. Using a retinol as well can be really helpful, and just general exfoliation is key. That should really help, and that definitely helped me a lot as well. The next question is, are you planning to do a cookbook with all the great recipes you show on video? Maybe, yes. I've actually been working on something, but I'm nowhere near done with it. So I've started working on something for you guys. I'm so excited to share it with you. I think by early next year it will be done, and I want to make it super amazing and super special for you guys. It will be a lot of my recipes, but there's also going to be a part just dedicated to health and wellness tips, information, advice, my own personal history, experience, things like that. So I'm really trying to make this as comprehensive as I can for you guys and as helpful as I can. So hopefully that will be ready by early next year. Something like that. Those are all the questions that I'm gonna answer today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed. As always with these Q&As, I will make sure to also do a blog post with a few more additional questions that you can find linked below in the description box if you guys want to check that out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a beautiful day, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye guys.